Hello everyone, I'm Mica Manticore, and welcome back to Let's Meet Adam. Now, I played the demo for this game a while ago, actually a little over a year ago now, I think, and obviously the full game has come out, or I wouldn't be playing it again. But one of the known bugs for the demo, moving over from the demo to the full version of the game, is that the load file from the demo doesn't work. So I'm gonna have to start over, which is fine, because my reactions ought to be new, because in the full version it's uncensored. So I'm kind of scared. I've got 2.2 million followers on Nowgram and it's still rising. Okay, can I move on? We've seen this. Recently moved to LA from the East, whatever, okay. Maybe an actor, model, maybe alright, cool. Anyways, I'm glad you made it out tonight. I had an audition earlier today too, but okay. I'm just gonna stop trying to read. This music is killer though. I really like. I like this music. Steve, Lars, Earl, Pierce, Vince, Kang, Bart, Lucky, and Adam. I'm trying to remember all the voices I gave these people, because I cannot remember. Oh god, alright. Wow, just wow. This place is so rad already and we haven't even gone in yet. Adam smiles, eyes taking in each smear or piece of grime as he walks into a sort of dark foyer. Vince, one of Adam's new West Coast family, follows closely behind. The friends had just left registration, dropped off their phones, jackets, and other restricted or inconvenient personal items. Despite the friendly reception, Escape Mansion WeHo had an air of something unwelcoming. Probably intentional given the situation, Adam thought. Indeed, we're pretty lucky, Adam. As if we'd actually get invites a few weeks after we requested spots, and we got in together. You know that doesn't usually happen, right? Vince nods silently as usual. At least the dude's smiling this time. He needs to emote more. I mean, how is he ever going to land a role? This is LA. Vince is a good actor, but the industry is all about schmoozing and kissing ass. He thinks he's mentoring me, a new kid on the block, but I think he's lucky to have a friend like me. Hopefully my charisma rubs off on him. I feel confident talking to just about anybody. Always have and hope I always will. How did the read go, by the way? Not bad. Small bit part, hardly any lines, really. Well then, that's just perfect for you now, isn't it? Very funny. I let out a half scoff, half chuckle. Anyways, I'm just glad you made it out tonight. I had an audition earlier today too, but I've been dying to try Escape Mansion WeHo since it became a thing. I mean, multi-room, multi-hour format, production value up the wazoo, invite only, mad elitist. I love it. I'm pretty happy you had the idea to try this out. Vince scratches his head while sweeping his hair awkwardly. His bicep flexes unintentionally but impressively nonetheless. This is Vicente, but he goes by Vince. I've known him for a few months now and he's a fellow aspiring actor. We met on some hand soap commercial set in Hollywood and we've been bros since. He isn't the usual kind of guy I bring around, as he's surprisingly quiet. I think the word is introverted or something. But look at him, he's not bad and has cute friends. We get along and it's nice to have someone to rehearse with. And although Vince hasn't broken out yet, he knows a lot of up-and-coming young indie actors in LA. He lets me tag along to some sweet parties and premieres. I think I'll keep him. You seem too excited, to be honest. Huh? What do you mean, bro? You seem hyped up. Are you still thinking about that? I blushed slightly. He must have thought he caught me by surprise. Oh, no way, Vince. I'm completely over that. Oh, God. I'm kind of afraid. Before we got in, as we were walking towards the mansion, we passed a car in the parking lot with slightly fogged up windows. Vince wanted to ignore it and pass by as quickly as possible, but I'm pretty mischievous and wanted a closer look. Oh, God. Casually walking closer in parallel to the car, I saw two really built guys fooling around in the front seat. Oh man, it was fucking hot. The one dude had his massive chest laid over the alpha's leg from the passenger seat. I could see the guy in a cap throw his head back in pleasure while his buddy bobbed that mouth up and down on his
Washington Monument.
Amazing. I know most people would be shocked, but this is WeHo, or West Hollywood, the gay mecca of Los Angeles, and shit like this is common around here, especially on weekends at night. I can't with this game. I can't.
But it turned out that he could, indeed.
I didn't get to watch him come, but I would have hated to. Oh well, it did not get me hot and bothered. And pumped, if artificially, for this experience. I look at Vince and grin. Again, it was pretty hot, though. Vince just sighs and nods his head towards the wall ahead of us. The two men approach the door, and just before heading in, Adam takes one last look around. A mounted television sits high up in a corner, flashing noisy television static. For atmosphere? The entrance is a bit mucky, and various splatters of unknown stains mark it sporadically. Given that the mansion is new, Adam figures it must be intentional and fake. The door itself looks heavy and has a disabled keypad on it. An odd shape is painted in the center with what looks like neon paint. That is kind of weird. I feel like I've seen that before. Obviously, I have. I've played this game before, but outside of this game, I feel like I've seen that before. Adam starts to feel unnerved, but Vince confidently pushes on the door, holding it open and ushering Adam through. The door opens up to a short, almost pitch-black hallway which leads to another door. Adam takes a deep breath and walks through. I don't know why, it was censored in the first game, and I think I still got kind of uncomfortable from it. But I kind of want to, play games that made me uncomfortable, because I know that brings out the reactions and stuff. I do want to say the art's really well done. It's just not my cup of tea. What opens up to them is a library with a ceiling that seems impossibly high. The darkness of the room, lit only by a rumbling fireplace, obscures the ceiling completely. Books line every wall like a grand library depicted in mansions from old movies, except there are no windows, no light. Then, simultaneously, 4 sets of eyes turn to Adam and Vince. The mood from earlier as in the foyer has completely changed. Adam gulps as something dreadful seems to linger in the air. I half smile and kind of raise my hand to say hi to the strangers. Normally I'd walk up and start introductions, but something told me not to. First, on my left was this handsome daddy. A beefy muscle bear whom I was definitely feeling. Don't feel him. I nod and sort of wink to acknowledge him. His eyes narrow in a scary way. Did he just give me the cut eye? After what feels like minutes, he makes a sound like blowing air out of his nostrils, eyes still laser focused on me. Then, without warning, he looks away, completely disinterested. Beside him is this Asian guy who barely turns his head to face us. Instead, only his eyes turn. They inspect, starting at my feet, then upwards until our eyes meet. He's pretty cute for an Asian. That's racist. And normally I'd think he was checking me out, but those eyes, the way they slid up me, cold, not a hint of anything, I couldn't read them at all. The vibe in the room was tense, dark even. Were they all scared and it was just nervous anticipation? Or was there something else? I gulped a second time, but was able to speak up. Hey, everybody. Vince nodded at them in his typical silent way. Hi, guys. On the leather sofa, a kid with green hair and the craziest shirt smiles and waves meekly at us. Finally, someone friendly. I'm Lucky. I mean, not that I'm Lucky. That's my name. I mean, my name is Lucky. Hi, Lucky. I'm Adam, and this is my friend Vince. Beside Lucky was the last and probably oldest guy. Nothing about him stands out physically, and I'd bet his personality matches. Like a guy you talk to for 15 minutes on the street, run into the next day, and have completely forgotten who he was. Bland, like oatmeal. He shifts a bit on the sofa, then says in a bored way, "I'm Steve. Nice to meet you, boys." Steve reaches out and we shake each other's hands. "This is Earl," Lucky says while gesturing at the man in the red shirt. Earl merely nods with an unwavering expression. "And this is, shoot, I can't remember your name again. It was Bart." Bart. Let me try that again. Bart. Fuck it. Bart. Says Mr. Daddy Bear. "Nice to meet you, Bart. I've seen you around. I think I know who you are," Bart says gruffly while his arms seem to fold even tighter. "Why don't you both sit? Steve and I can make some room on the sofa, I think." Vince shakes his head and points for Adam to sit. "There's no room for us both. I'll stand." "Well, what a gentleman. It's your loss, man." "Adam, you can sit beside me." "Don't mind if I do." "So, did you guys just get here?" "Well, Bart and I showed up first around the same time. I was a bit anxious at first. Mostly because, at these sort of things, escape rooms, you usually go with friends." "You have friends?" Bart chortled half mockingly with his one eyebrow raised. No need to answer that." "Oh." He was kidding, I think. Just don't mind him. "Alrighty, I guess it's weird how we're all strangers was my point. So let's just all get along." At which point, Bart and Earl look to each other. Earl finally shows a slight smile as Bart raises both his eyebrows in reaction to Lucky. Steve notices them and looks on with an unconcerned expression. "Anyhow, then I think Earl showed up next, and finally you, Steve." "Didn't work today, so I laid around my place, watching TV, waiting until I should leave, and ended up being late anyways, somehow." "You live in WeHo?" "Yes, indeed, I'm from around these parts." "What about you, kid?" "Oh, I'm from Hawaii originally, the Big Island." No, do you live in WeHo?" Oops, no, I live in North Hollywood. It's alright, but at least it's better than WeHo. I hate West Hollywood. And I'm not some kid, I'm older than you think, trust me. I get that a lot." "Alright." I smile at Lucky with a taunting grin. It's fun. "You aren't gonna ask how old I am?" "Nope." "Oh." I hear Vince chuckle in the background. "To be frank, boys, I like this format. Makes the whole experience more realistic. It's not easy taking this escape thing seriously when you can turn around and joke with your close pals." "Yeah, I can see that. I'm all about immersion. Actually, this is a good acting exercise, wouldn't you say, bro?" Vince and I nod at each other and he flashes me the thumbs up signal. "Although you and your pal here somehow ended up being invited together?" "Well, no, not together, but picked at the same time coincidentally, I'd say." "Interesting. Well, what are the chances of that happening, huh? Especially since I heard they pick us all randomly." I felt uncomfortable. What is this Stevie getting at? "Alright, so tell me one thing. What exactly are you trying to say?" I think all he's saying is you guys must be really lucky, that's all." Lucky's trying to diffuse the awkwardness, I guess. His hands were waving frantically. Yeah, that's all I was saying." Whatever. I started to take in more of the library and saw expensive-looking vases, busts, and books bound in leather with ribbon. That was hard to say! That's when I noticed the freaky painting above the fireplace! Ah! Lucky must have seen me eyeing it. "What do you think of that painting, by the way?" "It's gross." "I know, me too. It gives me the creeps." "I know, right? Why is that even here?" "It's probably set up here to get us all in the mood." "Get us in the mood for what?" I say jokingly and pervertedly. "Well, in any case, it's definitely not the original. It's got to be a reproduction or a print. Looks like a pretty good copy, though." "Do you know the name of it?" "No, but I'm sure it's famous." I was kind of taken aback. This was the first time I'd heard Earl talk. Up until now, I wasn't sure if the dude could. He has a smooth, rich voice like a tenor. "What?" Oh, nothing. Just listening." "Well, also those vases look more like urns to me." "Urns? I see Lucky shiver. He nervously combs his green hair using pudgy fingers. Earl follows suit and casually sweeps his hair from the front and to the side with his left hand. "I heard the organizers rotate and change the theming as much as possible so no one attending knows what they're in for. But it looks like the theme for us tonight is death. And good eats." Bart's deep voice piping in out of nowhere surprised me. "That's vile." Relax, I'm only messing around. If you're not going to take this seriously, then why are you even here? Take it seriously? Why would I? Are you frightened or something? No, I just appreciate all the hard work they're putting forward in trying to scare me. I don't scare easily. Neither do I. But I've heard a ton of good things about Escape Mansion WeHo from my coworkers and the kids down at the center. So I figured, why not? I'm here, it's in my neighborhood. Why did you decide to participate, Adam and, Vince? Just something to do on a weekend. My schedule is pretty busy, well, with me being an actor and all. But I try to do something fun and new every night throughout the whole week. Besides, I just moved here from New York City 6 or 7 months ago. I promise to take advantage of all that LA has to offer. I'm going to make this city mine. Earl simply smiles knowingly. I came because Adam wanted to. Pure and simple, huh? Not much to say. Yes. Your friend is good, Adam. Bart, Vince should be your role model. The large man furrows his brows all flustered. He tries to fold his arms to appear bigger and unfazed. Well, I'm just here to experience probably the only legit cool thing in WeHo. You're one of those jaded gays. I prefer worldly. And I love video games. And the escape room trend is like a live-action puzzle meets horror survival at times. LARPing possibly an MMORPG-style adult video game. What the fuck is a kid talking about? I don't know, I only caught about half of that. Besides, it's something to do on a weekend evening. I don't usually get to go out much, so... Come on, I'm sure you have friends. Oh, I do. My 2 best friends live right here in LA. Just, it'd be nice to date someone or to have a date on a weekend. I guess no one has found me to be their idea of cute yet. Well, you're here now, Lucky, and lucky you is, boy. Thought I'd throw the little guy a bone. Hey, isn't anybody gonna ask me? The entire group just looks at each other awkwardly, but before anyone could say anything, the metal door opens, then shuts, and out of the shadows, then illuminated by flames, steps in a 7th man, which we will find out next episode, because I'm trying to keep these short, because I don't want to record a freaking 4 or 5 hour video. So, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, please, if you haven't already. I'll be recording this for some time now, so the second episode should be out in a couple days as far as when this is uploaded. So, thank you again for watching. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you don't already. If you have a suggestion for a game that you'd like for me to play, let me know in the comments down below. Get after me on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll do my best to play it as soon as I can. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!